Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 223 High Powered, Small Caliber. For those that know, no. For those that don't, I'm sure we'll discuss what it's talking about later at some point in time when McMurray gets online. Because that tends to seem what happens from time to time, which is not a problem. Um, but some things that are high powered and low cost is the deal over at Wiley Games right now. If you do not currently have a copy of Fistful of Lead, oh crap, what is it called? The Tales of Horror. Good God, I blanked. That's what happens when you get older, Reese. You start forgetting shit. What's that?
I said that I'm getting old.
Yeah. Yeah, I have I suffer from CRS. Can't remember shit. Um anyway, yeah, over at Wiley Games right now, you can pick up a copy of Fistful of Lead, Tales of Horror for 25% off. That is a sale going on to the end of October. So that's a good long sale. And they just restocked, so they've got plenty of copies. Um, so definitely time to grab it if you haven't. Also, what you want to do is if you can't make it to the Kansas City metro area around, what is it, the third weekend of October?
Should be second weekend of October.
Second weekend of October, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Set up your own Tales of Horror game and take some photos. What's that?
I may have said that wrong. I thought you meant November with Tacticon.
No.
Please confirm calendar.
Let me take a look.
Sorry, y'all. I got in the middle of the spiel.
Why is it not on my thing? It is the third weekend of October. It's going to be on the 18th. Okay. It might be 17th and 18th, but it's definitely the 18th. And what you're wanting to do on that is, if you can't make it, run your own Fistful of Lead game with not necessarily Tales of Horror, but have it be a spooky version, and or a weird war type of setup or something like that, maybe Wild West with werewolves, and take pictures, submit those to Wiley Games, and you might just get some freebies from Wiley Games. So, like I said, if you can't make it yourself out there, have fun that weekend and let them know that you're playing Fistful of Lead and making it spooky, because it is the spooky season. We're getting real close to it, at least. So, y'all might have noticed that Reese and I aren't alone, and it's not McMurray. We got John from over across the pond. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much, Chris, and good evening, the internet.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir. What is it about? Yeah. What, 3 over there?
2 a.m.
2?
Yeah, it's an early start for me, but occasionally when the stars align and I get to bed beforehand and don't have to do too much first thing in the morning, it's a pleasure to come and join you all.
Yeah, Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm going to go ahead and there's been a lot of chatter over here. Now, Reese saw that I posted the show early, and of course, he had the comments, as some would say, average caliber. You know, it all depends on who you believe. Um, Charles came in and said, "Evening." Nord says, "Evening." Chuck. Charles came back with, "Hi, Nord." Wants to know how he's doing this evening. Charles came back and said, "Got 10 more wolves to prime and paint. They are 3D printed, I believe, in kind of garbage. 5 heads don't really match well. 4 to 5 grades won't stand up without something under the front right paw." I mean, put a deer head under there or something. Who knows, you know? Rules will basically be dragging rampant, but with some fixes. Fair enough. Charles says he's feeling okay, but it sucks to be Carlos again. Oh no, that's no bueno, brother. Nord says that sucks. On both fronts, I'm still sick about feeling a lot better. Just have some nasal congestion and an annoying dry cough. Welcome to my world, Nord. I'm nearly finished building my heavy-duty gaming table. I think I went overboard with the house dirty. I made it. I need to get to Home Depot on Friday to get a sander, miter box, and a flat pack saw to even out. We get better. Charles says we get a little bit better at a time. Yes, we do, Charles. He has to even out the legs of the table, and then just need to cut the tabletop and shelf top and assemble it in the room after I make sure it's good to go first outside. Very nicely done. I think I may have a sinus infection, which will require antibiotics. Yeah, that sucks, brother. That really is a bite. Luckily, my issue has not grown into bronchitis. I have a feeling that it might, which will suck verily. So, Charles was asking if he's masking up when cutting the wood. He says, I'm cutting out in the open, so I have no need to. I do have masks, though. I actually just hold my breath while cutting. Walkabout Games is in the house. How you doing, Chris? And Nord asked Chris to guess what he got over the weekend. So, and then Chris Long saw what I posted, and we'll hold off until McMurray tries what I sent him. And what I sent him was he is printing half-scale Battlefleet Gothic ships. And there's one guy who has put out some for the human fleets, the Space Marines and whatnot, that have little tiny 1mm by 5mm sockets to put in magnets. And but he wants that for like the Tau and the Eldar, etc. But he was unsure of how to get that done. Hi, sweet kitty, you're being brave. We don't know when the big mean dog's coming down. So what I did is I downloaded one of the files of that of the Battlefleet Gothic Space Marine ship, took it into Tinkercad and zipped out, erased everything but the little magnet cap, saved it and sent it over to McMurray, see if that'll work for him. So that is what Chris Long is referring to there. And Charles says his phone charging cable is acting squirrely. And what Nord got this weekend was he got the Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra bundle. Very good, Nord. Very good. Speaking of which, mine is actually printing right now, as you can see.
Live on the stream.
Yep, live on the stream. This is the Battlestar Pegasus that I scaled down to about 1/11,000 scale and placed a one of these sockets on the bottom of it, so it'll fit on a proper Armada stand, just like this one does. By the way, this is a 3D printed Venator class Star Destroyer. So, he said he had no idea how large the damn curing station is. It's huge. Yeah, the new ones are big. I've got an old Anycubic one. I need to get a bigger one because I can't fit the build plate into it.
Yeah.
So I need to get the bigger one. Walkabout. Chris Long says he just ordered the Saturn 16K today. Let me know how the Mars works out because I need to replace my Mars. Chris, you absolutely want to go with for the price. I don't know what they're going for up in Canada, but I picked up mine at a Micro Center. It's a small chain electronics store for $255, and they retail right now. They're like $280, I think, $270, somewhere along in there on Elegoo. So look around, see if any of your local electronics stores has them cheaper than what you can get them from Elegoo. Yeah, absolutely want to go ahead and you want to do that. Now I need to move the room around to make room for it. I'm probably going to have to build something to house the printer and curing station.
Is that the Mars 5 you got, Chris?
Yes, this is the Mars 5 Ultra.
I'm just seeing what the price they are over here. Mars 5 Ultra.
Walkabout Games uses a metal shelving unit for a shop and have a silicone tray under the machines. Silicone mats are great to keep the area clean. Yes, they are.
I might have to do that.
I was considering making a sturdy shelving unit and putting it right in front of one of the windows that I can run it. Could crack the window and have a small desk fan on blowing the fumes out. Dougie's in the house. How you doing, Doug? Bunkhouse. Maybe hope to be able to see you at some point in time during the gaming season. Like I said, we got a game. We got games over at Wiley HQ, third week of October, and then second week of November, we've got Taxicon in town. So would love to see you at one of them. And if you can, you can. If you can't, that's understandable too. Nord says, hey, Reese, I've bought my first modern firearm over the weekend. I got a 1911 45 from Rock Island.
Outstanding choice.
Yeah, you will have to cover the window because of the UV light. Now, I just had a regular solid. When I lived in Illinois, I had it right in front of the window, but I had the solid, what do you call those things? Venetian blinds that didn't let light through. And then, of course, the UV cover was not a problem. So, All of this chatter was before we even went live.
Wow.
Telemachus is in the house. You might be a gamer if you know the difference between a mimic and a chest, and you still want to open it anyway. Yep. So, yeah. Nord was asking if he has a window blind over it. Will need anything else? Yeah, as long as you don't have any light hitting the area, you're gonna be okay. So, yes, the Mars does have a little on the lower when you're looking at it on the back, the lower left hand corner has a hole that you can open up and attach a hose to it, or you can put a filter in there. So,
You're doing well for price of those the Mars 5s. That's $400 equivalent over here.
wow. Yeah, like I said, I picked mine up for $255.
Yeah.
Hexy's in the house. How you doing, Hex? So, like I said, yes, they do have the vent. In fact, that's where you plug in the filter. If you wanted to get I think it's a $55 filter. It plugs in right there, and you take that off. Chris, Long, I'm a very bad person. I don't vent at all. I just sit here in the fumes, and it's probably very detrimental to my health, but it doesn't seem to bother the dogs or the cats or me. So. Yeah, I know, Chris Long. I'm bad. I'm bad. So, the other thing, I'm going to go ahead and pop this down because I'm sure everybody is bored watching my Pegasus print. But I did get quite a bit of printing done this past week. I found some of the B wings, or not B wings, Y wings with the shrouding in the Armada scale. I got 6 of those printed up. I also found Arc 170s. I got 6 of them printed up. Also got some hammerheads. I got a pair of hammerheads printed up. I am going to have to carve down the pegs for them to properly sit in the bases. Yeah, the stands.
Yeah.
I also printed up a Venator class. This one turned out really nice. It was already to scale. It already had the bottom peg for the stand, and it was already supported too. All I had to do was import it into my slicer. It was ready to go, and it is very well detailed. So it's going to paint up real nice.
Did you have any artifacts from the from the supports? Because I find often with pre-supported stuff, you can get really quite bad artifacts if you're not careful.
I mean, I've got a couple on the bottom. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's not bad. And then
No,
on the
not bad at all.
top, I mean, there's a little bit right there, but nothing horrible.
That's a bill. Oh, that's good.
And then I also found a Pelta class frigate that Phoenix Squadron used as their home base. So that's that'll work out. You know, there is a Z95 Headhunter out there that I will that I'm gonna go ahead and find and print up. I also need to find some of the Tri-Droids and Vulture Droids. I need to get those printed up also. So, and then what's in there now, like I said, I've got the Battlestar Pegasus printing, and then I've got Battlestar Galactica ready to go, and both of them have had the peg socket, stand socket put onto the base. So my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some clear resin, clear ABS like resin, to make the stands. So that'll be good. Because I can print them in the gray, but I don't think it would look right.
Yeah, you want a brighter color than that, don't you?
Yeah, I will get those Colts 3D store files and post them up for you, Nord. Or I'll email them to you direct, one way or the other. Scala says, quick touch of Tamiya plastic putty is good for dealing with support scarring. There you go.
Okay.
Excuse me. So the reason why I'm printing out all of the Star Wars stuff is because this past weekend went down to Arkansas to visit with Reese, and while I was down there, or while I was getting ready to drive down on Friday, I just grabbed my box of Armada stuff because it's all right there, handy dandy little carry-all, right? And I headed on. I grabbed it as an afterthought, actually, and got down there, and we started statting everything up for Fistful of Lead Starfighters fleet actions, and got a game in, and it played really, really well, all things considered. Had a lot of fun with it. So, hold on.
No, we had a good time. I was impressed with the rules. I didn't know how well that would transfer over, but it seemed to do a pretty good job.
Yeah,
it did. It it felt Star Warsy enough for me. With what we did as the write up. Um, and I'll be honest, I love the models, but I Armada is a good enough game. It's okay, I guess. But like all Fantasy Flight games, it is very to get the most out of it. You've got to worry about. Well, I'm going to take if I take this character on this ship, then this character on this other ship can do this thing. And if I don't take it like that, I'm not going to get the most effective capabilities for that ship. So it's all about the meta game, and I'm not a big fan of, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. Now, if people, I'm not saying that that's a bad way to play it. People like to play that. I've got a friend, my buddy Eric, loves to, do that. He loves setting stuff up like that, and that's fine. If that's how he wants to play, then more power to him. It just means when I play the game against him, I'm probably going to end up losing because I don't have the I don't have the most effective abilities for my ships.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Meanwhile, we treated fleet battles like it was a historical game, statted them up based on performance in the movies, and went with it.
yep. and actually, something that people really get wrapped around the axle on with when they start playing Fistful of Lead is, oh, I have to follow the build rules precisely. I can't have more than this many slots taken up or stuff like that. And Jay Wiley has come out and said multiple times, if you are designing ships or characters or whoever based off of an already in place IP, that's either a TV show or characters from a movie.
Yeah.
Stat them out based off of what you see in the movie. And if that breaks the build rules, then it breaks the build rules.
We were halfway through a game before we realized that we had gone over our allotted system slots on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, and you know what? Oh well.
Well,
That's
yes.
how this.
Screw it! It's a Star Destroyer. We're rolling. Yeah.
So,
did you enjoy the game?
Oh yes.
Well, then,
absolutely.
Then mission accomplished. Mission accomplished, isn't it?
Thusly, the reason I'm printing out these because I am an unabashed original series lover. The original series is my Star Wars. That and Rogue One. And whether people like it or not, I throw in Han Solo with that, or the movie Solo. Reese, on the other hand, don't get me wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong, Reese, but
okay,
he too likes the original series stuff, but the thing that Reese kept on mentioning was, I'm envisioning the beginning of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, dear. And you still had him on the channel? I'm shocked and stunned.
Yeah.
Shocked and stunned.
No, now, my favorite time period is that between episode 3 and episode 4 section, but yes, Revenge of the Sith kind of kicks off that period. So
yeah, it's I think it'll give a good game also with the droids and the Venator class and the droid battleships and all of that. So I think we're going to be good. Let's see. So Scala, I don't remember where I got that case from, but it's a good little case.
Made it down to Arkansas and back, so it's got to be a decent.
Yeah.
decent case.
So on the top, I just kind of have everything mashed together. I just picked up some little Tupperware for all the damn greebly bits that you have to have for the Armada game. But there are companies out there, or not companies, but there are STLs out there that actually you can slide your fighter stands into. But I just have them bopping around in here because I don't have them painted or anything yet, and I might eventually paint them. I don't know. Maybe not. And then underneath that, I went to Joanne Fabrics, which is no more, unfortunately. So I should be able to get this at Michael's. But this is foam for like cushions that I've cut out to fit my ships in. Now, for whatever, and I can't remember why I did it this way, and maybe it's because of the Nebulon B, I decided to get the big 3-inch piece of foam to cut out, so I didn't have to take it out. And it fits very well with, it's a 4-inch deep box, so 3-inch foam with a 1-inch foam on the bottom. Kind of works real well.
When you did that, the green became the green screen.
Yeah.
Parking device.
So yeah. It's like I said. I think I got the box at Joanne. You might be able to find one similar at Michael's, but it's a great little box. Really, it's perfect for my Armada stuff.
Well, Chris, I liked the game enough that I have 2 core sets inbound with a third with another Victory class Star Destroyer, an Imperial Star Destroyer, MC-80 and MC-30 potentially coming this way, depending on if I win this auction or not. So
there you go. Now, keep in mind, because Fantasy Flight / Atomic Mass Games has ceased making these ships, they've become stupid expensive.
Yes, they have.
Especially at Noble Knight. Excuse me. A ISD, not in the box, and maybe not even with cards, was $120.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Scala says FFG games are min-maxers. There's always a best way to build a fleet. There's just no fun ways to build a fleet. Agreed. I'm right there with you. Because unfortunately, they built the game to be a competitive game. They designed it to be, to be played as a a
Tournament
tournament game.
Yeah.
Which, again, if that's how people like to play, I'm not gonna yuck their yum. It's just that's not the way I like to play.
An Imperial Raider is $100 on its own.
What? That little thing?
Yeah, the fighter squadron packs are going for 150.
Good gravy.
I'm not paying that much. I'll put it that way.
No,
I have found other means of sourcing.
I will print them for you, man.
I will pay you to print them.
That is redonkulous.
That is some of what I shovel every morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we're not making this out to be for a convention game in the slightest, because we came to the conclusion that to have the right feel for Star Wars, you gotta have fighters. And although the fighter rules are dead easy, the number of fighters you're dealing with makes it, if you've got more than, I would say if we've got more than 4 players on the table with all the fighters out, it becomes very untenable.
I agree. If we are playing with the number of carriers that we were playing, or number of, with the ratio of fighters we had going.
Yeah. Which, again, I felt was about right for the size of fleets we were dealing with. I think we actually had the right number of fighters out there.
Yeah, yes, for the era and size that we were dealing with, I think it was just about perfect.
Now, that being said, if we go to prequel times, that might become a different story, because you're dealing with a crap ton more droid fighters than you are Republic clone fighters. I would say where you might be like a 3-to-1 odds if you go quote unquote historical, 3-to-1 odds X-wings and A-wings and Y-wings to TIE fighters. You're probably closer to 5, 6, 7-to-1 droid fighters to clone fighters.
And I'm sitting here wondering if for separatist ships, if you don't take each carrier slot and make it 2 squadrons instead of 1.
Right. I'm right there with you.
As kind of a fleet trait.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, because both sides had, quite a number of fighters, but there were just so many droid fighters. So yeah, doubling up the separatist, fighters might not even be enough, in all honesty. Game wise, though, I think that you have to limit it, and I think that actually comes out to be a pretty good limit.
Either that, or modify the rules somehow where separatist squadrons ignore the first hit or something.
Right. Well, they're already going to be. Well, that doesn't matter, because, yeah, I think what you do is they ignore the first hit, because they would essentially be soulless, but they don't ignore actually, that's how you could do it. Um, is they ignore, instead of shock turning to damage, you just ignore shock as damage.
I could see that. There's a lot of little
So,
tweaks here that I need to
yeah,
get a pen and paper out and just write them all
yeah,
down.
that's going to be something that we will want to play test. So, hello, McMurray. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Not too much. We got John with us.
Yeah, I see that. How is the foreign correspondent himself?
Foreign correspondent is well, thank you very much indeed.
Outstanding. Is it 2 a.m. there, or, well, 2:40 there?
It is indeed, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, yeah. I say the times when I come on are regulated by when I can get to bed early enough, and when I don't have too much more. Well, I don't have to do too much in terms of getting myself out of bed too early in the morning on Thursday. So we'll have to think too hard. So yeah, hence
We
why
Hell,
you're
need
regular.
we
hell
need to
yeah.
get another 24-hour thing going. Not soon, but at some point, so that we can get you on there more often.
Absolutely. Then John can come on at a reasonable time over in Jolly Old.
Yeah. Yeah, or I'll come and do a 24-hour thing with you, and enjoy my company for the whole 24 hours if that's the thing.
Fuck yeah.
There we go.
I'll have to figure out one of those again.
Let me
Outs.
get moved first.
Yeah,
And
no, that's yeah. There's a lot of things that will have to, the stars aligning will have to happen to be able to get that going again. But yeah,
Okay, somebody get the tractor beam out, start moving stars.
exactly. Okay, Doctor Who. Let's see. Scarlett said Atomic Mass gets a lot of flack for killing off X-Wing and Armada, but they inherited FFG's min-max designs. And there's only so much you can do to course correct those games before it's time to just scrap them. I tend to agree there as well.
Yeah.
Nord
Like, I'm
says,
sad.
go ahead.
I'm sad X-Wing is gone. Because that was a fun, like, I enjoyed playing X-Wing. I never really got super duper into it because the stuff was a little expensive, and you know how I feel about proprietary designs.
Right.
But it was always a fun game. That being said, again, I also never got into. I understand that after a while they had turned it to not a tournament centric game, but certainly a more tournament favored game.
Yeah.
And everyone understands how that can turn out for games or for companies that aren't really familiar and really embedded in that. Yeah. It makes me sad. Maybe at some point in time it'll be like Ares, where they stop making games for a long time and then they come back with it after a few years.
Revamped.
Yeah, but of
Or
course,
just
although they stopped the game, of course, it's not it's not gone. If you bought the game, you've still got it. You can still play it, isn't it?
correct.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean that is the one crutch or the one restriction that they do have, though, is that there's only so much stuff in the Star Wars universe. Ares is playing with, okay, how many wooden ships can we make? Okay, never mind. There we go. Like
Yeah.
that.
Or how many different biplanes can we crank out?
And well, not only biplanes, but then we have all the different varieties of biplane that existed, but then all the different aces and all that stuff that you can rock out with also.
Right.
Not that doesn't exist in Star Wars, but it's certainly more limited in scope.
Absolutely.
Especially with the amount of Star Wars content seemingly on the decline.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a new Star Wars movie out May of 2026.
I saw that, the Mandalorian.
What's that about?
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh man, they're really riding that one as long as they can, aren't they?
Hey,
It's the only one seemingly bringing people in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully they don't kill it off like Tommy Boy in that. But
Well, don't worry. People don't stay dead in Star Wars anymore. They just somehow return.
well, yeah, Boba Fett did that. That's fair.
Palpatine did that. Maul
Wait,
did
what?
that.
Hang the fuck on. The Emperor did. How the hell did the Emperor not die? He got thrown down the thingy, and then the whole goddamn Death Star exploded.
Hold on.
You know, somehow Palpatine returned.
What?
That's all I know.
Chris, explain.
Spoiler
Sorry,
alert!
sorry.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, spoiler alerts.
For what, a 5-year-old movie at this point?
So what had happened was the Emperor took some of his DNA material and set it aside
You busted a nut.
and created, and the Emperor that we see at the end of the movie, I can't remember.
Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
No. Rise of Skywalker.
There are other movies after Return of the Jedi.
He's been.
No, I get that.
He was cloned, basically. So the Emperor that we see at the end of Rise of Skywalker ended up being a clone of the original Emperor.
With his consciousness or something put in him or something.
Right. It's hokey. It's dumb. But it is what it is.
Well, we're just going to go ahead and assume that it's a situation where somewhere on Coruscant they found a sock under the Emperor's bed, and we're like, we can make another one of these motherfuckers. Just watch.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how quickly this can dissolve to that level.
Never
John,
underestimate our ability.
John,
to
where
keep
else are they gonna get a viable DNA sample? You think they're holding his toenail clippings hostage or what?
I'm fairly certain there are other ways to get DNA samples, but maybe that's just the cheap way.
Maybe, but look at the guy. When's the last time you think he really got his blood work done?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, at the beginning of or not at the beginning, but in Empire Strikes Back, he was actually just a woman with baboon eyes put over in post. So
Oh, the original cut.
yeah.
Fair. That's fair. The good Lord. I thought
What?
Oh, go on, Murray.
I think he may be driving home.
Yeah.
Walkabout's right, though. No one tell him he also had a clone son who had a daughter.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Like my point is the Boba Fett thing you can kind of explain away.
Well, Patton Oswalt did it very well in Parks and Rec.
Oh, where somebody died and then his cousin hopped out? Or no, that was Beer Fest. Or
No,
Yeah, Beer Fest.
No, he does a
he does a set. I don't know how long of a
oh
monologue.
yes, he does. You're right.
it's a filibuster. But if you take it and line it up with the opening scene of Book of Boba Fett,
it's almost
it lines up.
Yeah.
Well, where do you? I mean, Disney didn't come up with the idea on their own.
Wait, doesn't Disney own Parks and Rec?
No.
Hang on, they don't.
No,
that's NBC.
That's NBC. Yeah, it's NBC.
Which is owned by
All right.
Comcast.
But
Should've.
yeah, I forgot about that Patton Oswalt bit. That's a good point. That's hilarious.
Patton Oswalt is pretty great.
He is. I used to really, really not appreciate like anything that he did because he was just that squirrely little guy.
Uh huh.
but he's really embraced it and run with it, and it worked out. It works out well.
He was in Justified.
I do not know what that is.
Justified is about a U.S. Marshal in the coal camps in West Virginia, modern day, like fighting white supremacists and drug guys.
And wait, Patton Oswalt is a U.S. Marshal?
No, Patton Oswalt plays like the county constable, who's an absolute like geek of a guy, and does it amazingly well.
Nice. Outstanding.
Timothy Oliphant plays the marshal.
Oh, okay. I've seen
Oh.
clips of that. Yeah,
It is well worth the watch,
fair.
which is funny because in Book of Boba Fett, Timothy Oliphant plays a character called the Marshal
Yep.
in
Huh.
reference to that.
That's some serious Nostradamus.
Skylar Gremlin's got it right. It says McMurray's explanation is both more coherent and better story than the canon explanation for Return of the Emperor.
Oh, that's funny. So
That's
at some
what
point,
needs
Chris,
to happen, Chris. Do a how the Emperor got cloned type thing.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds like a Robot Chicken episode waiting to happen.
Like
Yeah, it
I
is.
thoroughly have faith in their ability to make a short
Do that.
film for his housekeeper finding that sock and being like, "We could do it, we could do it,"
Right?
and then
Yeah.
the stormtrooper troops of exactly what's going on. That
I'm-
doing it entirely from the point of view of the stormtroopers. Some troops going, "Hang on, what happened? How the hell's this guy back?" Because that
I'm gonna-
100%, you know, is how that works out. How the hell's this guy back? Well, you know, Wagner said that the housekeeper found a, you know, DNA sample in a sock under his bed. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm gonna at some point I'm gonna do a Star Wars role playing campaign that is set before the Battle of Yavin, and I am going to have somebody refer to the date in the campaign as BBY, and somebody else say, you know, some other NPC say, what does BBY even stand for, and what are we counting down to? and just
Fair.
see. But
You should.
I think-
you should
I think
absolutely.
creating-
Reese, I will send you my. I'll mail you or drop off all of my goofy Star Wars Tatooine figures that I made for your use
Oh.
in that.
No, man, no,
I
not
just-
a third scale.
I just recently rediscovered Dale's speeder, which is fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys remember this thing, but
I do.
the black number 3 land speeder.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Does it have a little
Yeah, dude.
trouble in turn 4?
A little bit, but then he's also got a white one that's wrecked out in his yard because he's going to fix it one of these days.
It's up on blocks.
No, it's actually on the ground, but in classic fashion, one of the engines is inside of the passenger compartment.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I need to get that
feel
back
that.
out. I need to get that back out. I found all my buildings that I had 3D printed for that.
For reference, when Chris rolled up to the ranch on Friday, I had an immobile truck in the yard, hood up, with my head inside the engine bay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you did.
Yeah.
It couldn't be. It could not have been more Arkansas welcome than.
Yeah. Like, well, that, and then I still got Red, the Jedi who lives 163 beer stores north of him. That's a cool one. I love that Battle Valor miniatures Space Knight set. That thing is just fucking awesome because it started out with just Darth Brooks, and then it just has gotten better and better and better as I realized I could turn each one of those individual figures into some sort of redneck abomination. that takes place a long, long time ago in a trailer park far, far away. It's awesome. I wanted to grab. Didn't they? I think it was for Legion. They put out a bunch of like shipping container looking things.
Probably, yeah.
But I found a 3D printable version that has a door in the side of it.
Yep.
And I wanted to paint like 3 or 4 of them up and make a little tattooing trailer park. And just roll with it. The issue is I'm creating this miniature world and it's essentially just a diorama because I don't know what on earth I would actually play it with. But whatever. Zero fucks. You got Jawas and Gamorreans or sand people fighting at them and shit.
You're gonna
The
play it
degens.
with this full of lead with a bunch of friends that have been up way too long and are really slap happy.
That's about the only way that it'll work, yeah. But with the degens from upcountry.
See, I can do the accent because my accent's not that far off anyway.
Well, it's perfect. Well, see, it's also a Star Wars accent, so I don't even know what the hell that sounds like. But yeah.
Dude, trailer park accent is trailer park accent no matter where you're at.
That's actually very true. That's actually very true. I heard a dude in Richland that, I don't know, it was weird. It was
I'm only half a step above trailer park because only my workshop is mobile.
Hey man, that counts. That counts. Your house never had wheels on it.
Not that I know of.
Like, there's a foundation there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Now,
as long as the foundation isn't covered in lattice work.
The house that my dad finished high school and part of college in was a trailer house with the trailer taken off of it and a foundation added and then part of it built onto.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. That or you get right out of college I lived in an L that my buddy was doing, but we turned a window into a door.
Yep.
And then had to just kind of like make a fucking door into the next one.
So what's an L? Forgive
it's where you take one trailer and you just butt it up against another one.
Oh, I see.
And if you're smart, so it's an L. You put long end towards the other one, near the end of that one. And if you're smart, you cut everything you're going to need to cut before you get them set into place.
And if not, it's, hey, Larry, pass that Sawzall.
Yeah, it's a lot of Sawzall work is what it was. Was a lot of Sawzall work and then a lot of really sketchy tape / we had to find somebody who had an aluminum welder, which is shockingly hard to find.
TIG welding, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we welded underneath. Well, we welded most of underneath. It was hard getting under the one of them. It's all right. Whatever. It worked out. Nobody died. The floor wobbled a little bit, but that's pretty standard.
And forgive my ignorance. Are trailer homes a thing in Great Britain?
Yeah. We have they're called static caravans over here, but yeah.
Yeah.
Static caravans. Wow.
Man, you say static caravan in a trailer park, somebody's probably going to pull a pistol on you.
That's all right. You call somebody's caravan a trailer in the UK, you might get stabbed with a screwdriver or something.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, very probably. Yeah, they are around quoted places because at the end of the day it provides somewhere nominally cheaper to live for people who can't afford to buy a house.
Yes.
They tend to be organised into. I mean, obviously you've got the travelling community who are actual caravans, but they tend to be organised into like you'll have a static caravan park. And so, there are a lot of holiday ones, but there are also ones where people just live there and it's just they've got a patch of land.
It's really no different.
Yeah, they tend to be a little bit nicer, shall I say? You're not going to find generally, wrecks of old cars kicking around. And I apologise if I'm stereotyping people who live in a trailer park.
No, you're nailing it right on the head.
Yeah. They do tend to be, a little bit nicer. And Yeah, but they do exist. There's a couple down the road from where I am.
Yeah, it seemed like what show was it that I was watching where they took a like it was a club thing that they did. Oh, it was on the In-Betweeners. The one dude's family has a caravan, and they call it like a recreational society or whatever. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
certainly a lot classier than most of
Well, say
what
there
you
are
would find spread across America, but that's okay.
yeah there are holiday parks which have the same things, but they are designed for people just having holidays in. But you don't live in those permanently. But then there are static caravan parks, which are ones where people do live in it full
So
time.
with the holiday parks, do they bring their own recreational vehicle, or is it
No. Think of it like you just rock up there in the car, and you've rented a caravan for a week.
huh? In the United States, we have those, but you got to bring your own caravan or bring
Oh,
your
I see.
own thing.
No. These
There's
are
actually a couple state parks and stuff in Missouri. There's some of those in Missouri. Like there's one right outside of Fulton. Hanson Hills Campground is like that.
I
It's a
got you.
private campground where you roll up and you rent, or most of the time people like reserve them. But yeah.
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 Yeah, booking advice. Yeah, it's just like it's like a hotel, but not quite as not posh as it were. But they're quite popular. I've used them a few times myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, generally by the seaside.
Yeah, that's badass.
Tends to be.
Let's see.
I'd
What
do
is
it.
McMurray work on today?
Well, and y'all don't even have to worry about tornadoes up there, do you?
No. We occasionally get like tornadoes seen off the coast or whatever, and it tends
I
to last
wish.
for about 10 seconds.
That's wild. That's like the number
over
one
there,
danger
don't
in
you
trailer parks.
Yeah.
Over there, don't you normally see tornadoes taking off from the airbase?
Do you know what? I could hear that joke coming a mile off. It's almost like I'll set you up. Yes, a tornado, as far as we're concerned, is an aircraft, not a force of nature, despite what the pilot will tell you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. We don't too much of it. Tends to be in the UK at the moment. Flooding is what seems to get trailer parks around here, or in this part in the UK at the moment. We get some of those big floods that we have, and you suddenly find these people living in sort of parks that are sort of washed away or whatever.
Oh,
That happens in the U.S. too, especially in Missouri. You get a lot of them in floodplains.
Yeah.
if we had been able to infiltrate the United Kingdom and sell them on this idea, we could have been millionaires. Somebody already did.
Correct.
Come here, sir. Come here, bud.
But you're right. A country with no tornadoes is perfect.
Oh, Bunkhouse. I read those too. The Young Jedi books. Those were kind of cool way back in the day. Al Bundy does need his own miniatures, Nord. You are correct. That would be entertaining. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. You guys got houseboats on rivers, John, or is that mainly like a continental thing?
Well, there's two different types. So you can have sort of a larger houseboat. Think static caravan on water. Tends to be on some of the bigger rivers. So you go like the River Thames, or there are some of those there. But they tend to be. It's technically mobile because it's a boat, but actually, they don't go anywhere. They
Not like the weird little like super skinny canal boats that you see sometimes.
The other thing are the canal boats. Yeah, and there's quite a large community of liveaboards. People who live on their canal boats full time. Either in they have a marina that they live in, or they are what's called continuously cruising. A friend of mine did it, so I know quite a lot about this. But the continuously cruising, whereby you never stay anywhere more than a couple of weeks at a time, because it's a cheaper license on the waterways then. But there's quite a strong community about that, and it's a big thing. Not a huge thing in the UK, but there's definitely a fair community that does that and enjoys it. And again, my friend did it because he was came out of a pretty nasty divorce and just wanted to get away from it all. And the idea was just he didn't have to worry about a job at the time, and he was just trundle off and pot around the canals of the UK. It didn't work out that way, unfortunately, because the boat he bought brand new was an absolute dog. Anything that could go wrong with it did go wrong with it. And after a year of having a legal battle with the company, eventually they bought it back from him. So it wasn't as relaxing as he wanted it to be. But yeah, that's a community out here. People enjoy that.
That's pretty
Of
cool.
course, you haven't got a canal network over there to do this one, have you?
No, we don't, but
Not
we have a
really.
lot of rivers.
We
Yeah.
got a lot of rivers. There's definitely people who live on rivers, depending on what part of the country you're in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down here, most of them have very large dams that keep them from being completely navigable. But there's certain sections, like on the White and on the Missouri, and definitely on the Mississippi, that you could go for a while.
Well,
Yeah.
Arkansas,
Oh
you
yeah,
can get all the
especially
way
on the
up to Tulsa.
Mississippi. I have no idea where there is a hydro dam on the Mississippi. There certainly isn't one between St. Louis and New Orleans.
Chris, did you say the Arkansas is navigable all the way to Tulsa?
Yep, kind of.
Well, depending on how shallow it gets.
Well, yeah.
Hey, that's a good question. I don't know if there is a hydro
There are-
dam on the
There are
Mississippi
no
anywhere.
Yeah, there are no hydroelectric dams on the Mississippi. However, there is a series of locks and dams all up and down the
Correct.
river. Yeah, San Antonio has it doesn't have some canals. It has the San Antonio River Walk that makes kind of a horseshoe in downtown. And when it floods, they're able to close it off with big gates, and then there's a channel that's been cut to send the floodwaters away from through town without it flooding the area. So it was designed by an architect back in the late 20s and got finished mid to late 30s, and is now a huge tourist attraction with additional canals that go up to the River Center Mall, which is on right next to the I think it's the Hyatt Regency or the Hilton, one of the two, and then excuse me, and then another one that goes all the way up to the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center that was built shortly after Hemisphere, 1968.
Well, then once every couple of years, you can get anywhere in San Antonio by boat because the whole thing floods.
Well, there is that too. And actually, everybody talks about the drought in Texas. They're not in a drought. They're just in between floods.
I don't have the time, nor the energy, or the money to do it, but it would be fun to go down the Buffalo River on a canoe, hit the White River, go down the canoe to the Mississippi, and then make that sharp U-turn. It's only a couple thousand yards back up the Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, something I've always thought about doing is starting off in a canoe because it's very shallow and very narrow. But starting off at the headwaters of the Mississippi at Lake Itasca in northwestern Minnesota, and do a photo documentary book that runs all the way from the headwaters down to the Gulf of Mexico, taking photos of every crossing of the river from the river. Because there's been books of, bridges over the Mississippi, but they're always taken from shore.
Land. Yeah.
So this would be taken from the river.
If you pay for the camera equipment, I'll row you down the Mississippi in a canoe.
Yeah. So,
Reese, I'm going to tell my work you're pregnant so I can get FMLA and do that.
there you go. So this is where we are with Battlestar Pegasus. Hey, Mutt's online. How you doing, Mutt?
Hey, Brian.
Looks like it's getting close.
Yeah, but it is 87% done. It's a big. It's big. I think it's right around 190 millimeters long.
I was about to say,
So-
speaking of that, so you're doing Battlestar Galactica stuff in in Armada scale, it looks like.
Kind of Armada scale. So the Battlestars are actually pretty big. They're like 2.5 kilometers long. So I had to cut this thing down to like 1 to 11,000.
So I was looking. I was trying to do what scale is Armada at nominally.
It varies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always been the same with the model, isn't it? It's not a specific scale.
Yeah, I think like the Star Destroyer, the ISD and the Victory class Star Destroyer, and this guy right here is 1 to 7,000.
Okay.
Then the smaller frigates are closer to 130-100 scale.
Okay. I was about to say, because I was looking at that, I thought, oh, that'd be cool. I've been printing this Battlefleet Gothic stuff. And I was like, that'd be cool. I guess I'll find something that's the size of a Star Destroyer and print that off. And then I realized that an Imperial Star Destroyer, right? The main Star Destroyer from the original trilogy is the same size as a sword class frigate, like the smallest Imperial ship you can get.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And that thing's 8 inches long if I try and print it. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. It legitimately took me quite some time to find a Battlefleet Gothic ship that was only a kilometer or a kilometer and a half long.
Right.
Yeah. But that was an interesting. Oh yeah, that's right. All spaceships are not created equal.
No,
Good
they're
stuff.
not. No, they are not.
Can I diverge on the talk of scales away from wargaming, or is that not allowed on this channel?
No, go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
do it. What's up?
Because I've been looking at some model railroad type stuff and model railway type things, because I've
Nice.
found all my old stuff up in the loft, and was just stuff I had when I was getting a kid, just debating at some point, using my skills and getting one going again. And but yeah, I was trying to look at different scales for things, and I was trying to work out if I did one in I was going to say double O, but HO scale, which is more familiar over there. If I wanted to, the other thing we have a lot of over here are smaller, so 7.25 inch gauge ride-on railways.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you were to model in HO scale a 7.25 inch track, how big would it be? And I got that down to about 2.5 to 3 mil track width, which is T gauge scale, which is quite a very tiny one.
It is.
But then was thinking, okay, so if you're then going to model a narrow gauge train on that T scale, it would be larger than T scale, but how much larger? And at which point my brain blew up. And it's like, oh no, guys, I'm stuck at this point. That's going to be one of those things of just go and try something and see what works, and get the prints out.
That's fantastic. You should do that. You should make an HO scale rail layout that then has a garden railway in it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That's exactly the plan. But T scale there's not much of it. It's there's a very limited amount available. But it does exist. That's the thing. It does exist. So
it does. I used to have an N gauge set up when I was a kid that my dad and I did.
Yeah, well, I was given it. I mean, it's one of the things I started. We'll go back to wargaming in a second, but my dad built me a model railway set when I was 4. It was Christmas when I was 4,
Yeah.
and because my grandfather ran a model shop and obviously had all the stuff, so it's
Nice.
kind of natural. So yeah, and that became, I mean, that it was bolted to the wall of my bedroom and sort of folded down and everything, but that became my base, my very first war game when I started playing. Well, fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy originally, and then moved into 40k. That was the base for use because all of a sudden you got a 6x4 play space.
Yeah. I mean, that certainly was the inspiration that got me into looking at, little figures, little models, and then, growing
Yeah,
into, well, what if I want to do stuff with these? Absolutely.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, but
It's
I still have all of the track's long gone, but I've still got all those trains from back then. So they are now nearly 50 years old. The trains, but there's a brilliant little model railway society, a couple of villages down from me, who are really helpful and friendly. Have open days and things, and yeah. So I was chatting to one of the older guys there who looks after and fixes older trains, and I mentioned I got these old. He said, "Oh, bring them down." Bring them down. We'll get them up and running for you. So yeah, they gave them a good service for me, and they had a big layout there anyway. And we had some of my old trains merrily running around their track at their
That's
show,
awesome.
which is lovely, absolutely lovely of them. So yeah, they fixed up. So I've done various other bits over the years. So enough at some point, I really ought to do something with it.
Hell yeah. Do something in like so you can bridge it over to playing 28 mil on it.
Yeah, yeah. Oddly enough, I do have the start of an O gauge truck full of which has been orcified.
No.
So it's got all panels on it and guns hanging off the side of it and all sorts of things. I did have a start doing that one, but yeah, I probably, because I've got a lot of HO or double O's over here stuff anyway. I'll probably start with that. But yeah, it's just in all the copious free time I don't have. At some point,
Oh yeah.
I should go and do it. But the stuff's there, and it's one of those things. Just sit and think about, put some ideas in my ideas book that I have, and maybe one day something will come of it.
Become the terrain master, man. That's where
Well, that's it'll up your terrain skills massively because there's a lot of
those
that.
guys are just
Yeah.
expert in a lot of stuff. Because some of those guys also are obscenely good at making really, really good layouts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That I've never seen somebody so good at like the ability of some model train guys to tear stuff out of a layout and then rebuild it.
Oh
And
yeah, that's what got me. Yeah, the
and
rebuilding
it's
side of it.
you can't even tell the damn difference. Like obviously if you're those guys who are really familiar with it are able to, but there's a good model train community in most, I feel like, urban areas or big areas in the US, and there's a thriving model train community in the St. Louis area here.
Yeah,
And looking at, because some guys, now that you got the age of digital cameras and stuff, they'll have whole albums of different variations of the same layout that they've torn apart and put back and torn apart and rebuilt, and it's wild.
yeah,
And like I said, when those guys get their heads together, and because there's one actually real close to Toddy's house, uh, that they have like a it's not a clubhouse, but you get the point, like same
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of idea. And yeah, those guys like randomly every now and again, because they have open days as well, and you can go and
yeah,
just
yeah.
see what's going on, and it'll be a month, and they'll have a layout built for, oh well, we're doing a Christmas layout this year. Like, oh shit, okay, you guys, we're not messing around. There's just a full 20-foot long by 8-foot wide layout done in a month, and it's mostly retired guys, but even so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I
Holy.
saw one a couple of weekends ago. Actually, I went to a place that had there was a demonstration by a local club there, and they do it. It's replicating UK narrow gauge, so
Mhm.
it's quite, it's called 009 scale, but it's quite a nice one. And what they do in their club is if you want to, they will have a big layout, but they make all the pieces so they're compatible. So you say you take your 3 foot by 2 foot board, let's say, and you know that your track endpoints must be in certain locations.
Yep.
But you can then do your board to whatever. Like you can do a Christmas scene on it, and then the next guy can do a a midsummer scene. Someone can do a fall scene. Look how I translated it. Fall scene. Could do all that sort of stuff. And then when they get them together, they just plug them together in any order they like. So for a demonstration, they're a big U-shaped thing. The train's just going up and down, and because they all connect together, they all use the same thing. You can do whatever you like, and when you look at it, it's not a cohesive miniature, a cohesive set, but it's something they can mix and match to their heart's content. And everyone can make. You haven't got to think about committing to make a 20-foot long thing for the display. You just got to make one board, which is yours, and you can then just join in and you plug it in and have some fun. I thought that's quite a good idea.
That's badass. That's super cool.
That's how they do it over here. Also, there is a standard nationwide for HO and in scale.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can literally build your module and
just plug it in.
You can build your module here in Kansas City and take it to Phoenix, and you can plug it right in.
Plug it in. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't going to claim that this was the only thing that's ever done it, but I'd never seen it before like that. But
that's still cool. I hadn't heard of it. It blew my mind.
Yeah. And I think it may, since HO scale and N scale are the same the world over.
But no.
HOs are different, yeah, because you got HO that's got Lionel and then other.
No, that's O gauge.
O gauge. No, but
Okay,
HO and O are different.
Yes.
The track is the same, but the scale of the models is not.
Yes.
HO is technically more accurate. O is basically only confined to the UK.
Y'all don't have HO? Okay.
No, we have. The track is the same.
Yeah.
But the models are to a larger scale. Technically, O is actually narrow gauge because the models are larger than the scale. But it's
right.
So it was just the way. There's a whole history of how it turned up. But yeah, you can run an HO train on O track. It's not a problem. But if you have the same model, my O train will be slightly larger. Yeah, it looks slightly odd.
Now N scale is the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the reason why it's called N scale is because it's 9 millimeters between tracks.
Yep. Well, yeah, and there's a whole community of people who then go the 9mm scale club, but then they there's fine scale, which is whereby the height of the track is scale correct, and then there's another group which go for there's just so many. Like any hobby down the rabbit hole, but I'm sorry, I'm dragging us away from wargaming and painting stuff. But
it's modeling, man.
It directly corresponds. Yeah.
This is more on topic than some of the rants that McMurray and I get on here.
That's true. We were talking about the Emperor's Cumsock earlier. This is pretty outstanding.
That brings a whole new meaning to the Emperor has no clothes.
Yeah. Ugh. Wrinkly green balls.
I tried, Chris. I tried to keep us on modeling. I'm sorry. I did what I could.
Hey.
We call those monkey brains down here.
Yeah. I sat in gum. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, what are you working on? Am I allowed to ask that question? Because
I was about to say. I'm actually painting up my little epic scale Space Marines right now. Getting all their shoulder pads painted
with freehand squad markings, I trust.
Gross.
Those are actually going to be real easy because it's just going to be a little dash of green.
Yeah.
But I've got this flag here that I'm going to attempt to paint the Texas National Guard arrowhead on. Because that's the chapter badge for these guys is the 36th Infantry Division's patch.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
What are you working on, Reese?
I am drawing up the electrical diagrams and where to put the outlets for my hobby shed.
Ah, okay.
So 1-to-1 scale modeling.
1-to-1 scale, yes, yes. Yes, 1-to-1 scale painting is generally it requires slightly larger brushes, I find.
Yes. No, that's my plan this weekend is to get power, internet, and air conditioning to my new workshop. So.
Cool.
Which looks very good from the outside.
Sorry I didn't show you the inside.
That's okay. We were we were dodging rain most of the day on Saturday.
Well, I couldn't find the keys.
Oh.
And the thing was locked. And I looked through the window today, and the keys were laying on the desk inside of it.
Oops.
So, having the multitude of random skills that I possess, I went through a window and got the keys.
There you go.
So.
Well, I have just finished at long last, and this is a great painting session. I've been doing some minis for the Halo game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice.
So, hopefully we can.
Let me embiggen you there, John. Hold on 1 second.
Are those like 32 mil or
Yeah,
even bigger?
basically, yeah. So but the whole. Come back in. There we go.
Awesome.
My whole aim, they're just been dry brushed, but the aim is to try and do them quickly because the whole point of the game is you can play the game pretty quickly.
They look great.
I'm doing this for another channel. I won't say which one. And I've just come up with and just finished off some of the Covenant as well.
Nice.
But the whole game's only got like 20. Well, this particular game's only got like 20 minutes in it, so at least I can do it. So yeah, the aim was I've done a very quick scheme. It's basically layers of dry brushing with a couple of minor highlights. And then get them on the table. So I've done a paint. Well, we'll be doing a painting video of it, which I just need to edit, and then I've got a video of actually playing the game itself. But yeah, they've been sitting there, kind of just edging forward slowly, but slowly over the past probably 2 months. So this has been great to see because I've actually done the last little bits on the weapons, got them done, so they are now done. And now I'm onto my pirate ship. So
whoa, hang on! You can't just say that and then gloss over. You got to pick. Is that thing handy?
There he is.
So this is so it's 3D printed. So the hull's FDM because it's my resin printer's not big enough. So yeah, I've got this painted up now. Just starting to almost got the deck pieces finished. Go fit those in. There's a bit of finessing because the masts are stuck in or glued in, and I want them to be dismountable. Otherwise, I'm never going to be able to put it in a box anywhere. So I'm just slowly putting it together, and then I'm unfortunately I did the mast out of resin, but I dropped them yesterday and cracked 2 of them. So I'm now currently gluing them back together again. But it's not a bad one. It took a bit of fiddling. I've got a bit more painting to do on it, but it's yeah.
So now we'll be able to clone McMurray.
Clone him?
Yeah, we'll be able to.
You want more of him?
The world should be so lucky.
One's bad enough.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I got to put up with this rascal in 2 weeks.
It'll be entertaining.
It will be. We'll see who comes out alive.
Hopefully both. You got a kid on the way.
Yeah, that is true. Oh.
Nah, it's
kid on the way. Blimey, mine's. I'm currently teaching mine to drive. My youngest one to drive.
Good Lord, how's that going?
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, he's having lessons as well. But I've told him my partner's also drives. She's although she learnt to drive originally when she was much younger, she hasn't driven since. So I'm essentially teaching 2 people to learn to drive at the same time. So I'm spending a lot of time in the passenger seat of a car being driven around places.
Oh wow!
I know the feeling. I had to teach the girls how to drive.
Yeah,
because Donna wouldn't do it.
So, what is the standard age to teach someone to drive in the UK?
You can get your provisional license from 17. So it's a year later than I know some states in the US you can do it from 16, can't you? But no, 17 years old you get provisional license, and then you can learn to drive from there. And there are places which are off road. So there's a big airfield near me that has a driving school where they can go and drive from 11 because it's private land. Do what you like. So they kind of teach them. But yeah, it's from the age of 17. So I've been past few months. I mean, they're having some lessons first before I got involved because I want to have at least the basics of car control with a driving instructor, whereby the instructor actually has dual controls, so that a bit more control over them. But yeah, beyond that, it's quite expensive for lessons in the UK at the moment. It's about £50 an hour, so what's that, $70-ish an hour?
Jesus.
So
For driving lessons. So yeah, sorry, go on, Reese.
I was just thinking if I needed money, I'll just fly over there and become a licensed driving instructor, and then
Yeah, no, a lot of people do it. A lot of drivers out there.
hopefully not die.
Well, that's the thing. You've got to have the right temperament.
I may lack that.
I can, I'm apparently my partner and my son both like me driving with me, and I'm fairly relaxed. I can tell you, I'm not inside. Inside, I'm screaming, "Stop!"
Right.
But on the outside, it's okay. Slow down, please. Slow down.
My nephew is currently learning to drive, and when I was over there 2 weeks ago, Jay decided, "Hey, we need to go to town. Let's let the boy have some practice."
Yeah.
Okay. I will admit, I didn't get a pucker factor greater than 3. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Jay only had to grab the steering wheel 3 or 4 times to get him out of the grass.
Right.
So
Well, that's the thing. You've got to, because it's so expensive. It's like any time I'm going somewhere with him, it's like you drive because it makes sense. I've got to go. It's like when going to and from his school. At the moment, I'm for various reasons I'm taking him in every day, picking him up.
Yeah.
Well, I might as well use the little car, and he can drive to and from school. It's only 15 minutes each way, but over the course of a week, that adds up. It's time behind the wheel.
Now, do you have a automatic or is it a manual shift?
Manual,
Good.
deliberately manual. Teach me, because if you learn an automatic in the UK, and it's maybe the same in the US, you can only ever drive an automatic. You can't drive a manual.
Yeah, we have no such rule.
Yeah. So
no, you just know how to drive a go-kart, and if you can parallel park the damn thing, you can drive pretty much anything as long as it's for personal use.
So although my partner would like to have an automatic, and of course a lot of the youngsters, I mean the number of people taking automatic tests has gone up because all most modern electric cars are all automatics. So a lot of people are not even bothering, and it is easier, certainly.
I would say probably maybe 2/3 of people of a certain age in this country don't know how to drive a manual at all.
Your number is way too low.
Okay.
Currently, in the United States, I think there's something like less than 5% of all passenger vehicles sold are manual shift.
Gotcha.
Fun fact: your boy has never taken a stolen auto or a stolen vehicle report for a manual transmission.
Yeah,
there is that.
I believe it.
I mean, nobody is ever going to steal my Hyundai for various reasons. That's one of them.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's but it's over here. I mean, quite frankly, I want to learn the manual because it's good to understand how a car's doing.
Oh,
so
sure.
Because if you can drive a manual, you're then allowed to drive an automatic.
And you'll drive that automatic a lot better.
Yeah, my big car is an automatic, and because I do a long distance in it, and it's nice and easy when you're driving around. But it has been when I've been to the US. I mean, this is going back quite a few years now. In fact, nearly 30 years. But I got to the hire car place, and I was young and had some money at the time, and I was like, what have you got that's a bit sportier? Because I was out in I was out in Canada actually, but I was out in the US, but I was out a bit sporty. Well, we've got a Mustang here. Well, sounds like fun to me. Why not have a Mustang for a week? And he went, but it's a stick shift. It's like, that's okay. I can do that. Even if it's on the wrong side, I can do that. So yeah.
Yep.
So when you say little car, are we talking like Mr. Bean car? Because that'd be awesome.
Well, my Fiesta's not much bigger than an original Mini. Certainly, the little Ford Fiesta. It's quite a small car.
There.
Certainly compared to my 5 Series BMW, it is. I gotta get in it and go, where's the rest of the car then? It appears to be missing
Yeah.
a bit, like all of it.
But
You know,
and
it's got central locking. I can reach all the doors from the driver's seat.
and see, to me that's funny because you say your 5 Series Beamer is a big car, and to me
No, compared to you, it's not.
that's barely a mid-sized car over here.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
There was a specific turn and hill out here on the ranch that I told Chris. I said, this is where you truly know if you can drive a manual or not. When you're on the tractor, you're turning onto the highway, and you've got to get this farm tractor, through all the gears in a certain amount of time.
Yes, yeah, I can quite imagine. Oh yeah. It's all good, fun. It's all good fun. I'm still alive, still going. I've only had to grab the wheel probably twice, so I consider that a win, quite frankly. But it'd be nice once they can drive, because then they can take some load and they can drive me to the pub and back, which is quite nice. Or because I work in Bristol, which I tend to take the train into Bristol because it's convenient for me. It takes about an hour and a half to get in compared to about an hour for driving, but it means parking other end is a lot easier, as in I don't have to bother. So, but quite often we'll go out in Bristol for a beer after work, but of course I can't drink because even though I've got to take a train, I've then got to drive my car home from the station. So it'd be quite nice when get to the point when they can pick me up from the station. So even if I do turn up home a bit wobbly.
Now, see, another thing that is different over there is like your back roads are a lot narrower than ours.
Oh yeah, yeah.
John, if somebody's picking you up from the train station, don't worry about being wobbly. Just be able to pour yourself out of that train. They're picking you up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, enough that I, because I clearly couldn't drive like that. So get someone to pick me up from the station. Saves on car park fees and everything.
On those smaller roads, do you sometimes randomly have agricultural equipment and/or animals being driven down the roads? Then.
Oh yeah. Agricultural equipment around here. Well, it's quite rural where I live, and so yeah. I mean, you there are some roads you through experiences you don't go down them at speed because you're going to come across horse riders, tractors. The worst one is because I do quite a lot of cycling as well, and there's a road around here. It's a lovely long downhill, but I was coming down it once, and it's got quite high hedges. Coming down it once, and came around a corner. There's a tractor coming the other way with a big, I don't know what it is. It's like a huge kind of metal grid on the front with spiky bits. I'm guessing it's for picking up straw bales or something like that. And that was all pointy bits out, and I came down the hill straight towards it with nowhere to go. And I decided, for this discretion being the better part of valor, I went into the hedge because otherwise I was going to go and land in spiky bits. So I go a lot slower down that road now because you don't want to meet one. Yeah.
And spiky bits would also have skulls and weird chains and fleur-de-lis.
Yeah, the remains of the last cyclist that got caught. Yeah.
Sounds like you might have ran into an Inquisitor's vehicle.
Yeah.
I catch a lot of middle fingers when I take the farm tractor down the highway.
Yeah.
Well, I heard a story about it. I don't know how true it is. Maybe you can confirm. But actually, the thing that most tractors in the UK end up doing is most of the time doing is getting from A to B, from field to field, most places. So actually, that's why a lot of them now are, relatively speaking, a lot faster, because it makes sense to make it quick because they get from one place to another faster, if that's what you're spending your time doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some big beasts. But yeah, the roads around here, the small roads are very small. One car width wide, or just get a tractor squeezing down there. So you've got to really get your skills in and know the size of your car to work out whether you can squeeze through a gap or not.
When we drive cattle down the road, which we do every so often, we have to schedule it around when the mail carrier comes. So number one, we don't hold the mail carrier up, and number two, they don't hold us up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we do. We get cattle on the roads around here as well when they move from field to field. You just sit and wait while they go down the road. Once there was a herd of cows coming towards me. I was on the bike and I just stopped, pushed over to the side. Of course, The cows are going, but because cows are quite curious creatures, and so these cows are coming to see what this, brightly coloured lycra-clad person was doing and what it was. So trying to shoo these blooming great cows along before they squash me. The farmer thought it was quite hilarious. The guy by, go on, keep going, come on, keep off you go. Just shooting cows along the road so we can get past.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah, let's see here. Appreciate you're bigger than me and I'm brightly coloured, but I'm not a flower. Carry on.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, true. I should have tried that. Yes, this is not the cyclist you're looking for.
Charles said the first manual he drove was a column shift Nova,
Oh,
and the roads were a tad icy. My mom had a mid-50s Dodge pickup that was called the Dr. Booter. Actually had a can of soda painted on the side and Dr. Wooter painted on the doors. And that was a fun old truck. I wasn't ever old enough to have driven it myself, but it was a 3-speed column shift. And then one of my fraternity brothers down Texas A&I had an old Chevy pickup. Well before they came out with the Silverado. It was like a 78, 79 Chevy pickup that had a 3 in the tree. And I as a pledge, I had to drive him around to the different bars. I had to stay sober and in the truck because I was not yet old enough to drink. So I would take him to a bar and I would sit in the truck waiting for him to do whatever he needed to do in there, which was get completely obliterated. And then he would stumble out of the bar and get poured into the front seat and I would drive him away. And Nord was just letting you know, Reese, that all of those people are just letting you know you're number one.
Yeah.
So I've told this story on the show before, I'm sure. The day that I learned to drive a manual it was a family Thanksgiving. So we had everybody there because Thanksgiving on my dad's side's massive. And my uncle found it less stressful to teach me to drive the Nissan Standard than to be in the house with all the people.
Yeah.
So
That is entirely reasonable.
I completely agreed with him. He said, "Hey, you want to learn how to drive the manual?" I said, "Might as well." And away we went.
Fantastic.
You're what? 7.5, 8?
I was probably 12, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'd been driving trucks for at least 5 years by then, if not longer. Not on the road, but
Yeah, on the farm.
On the farm.
Yeah, it's
I'd been pulling trailers for at least 2 years. So
yeah, it's all useful skills.
for sure,
Just,
best way to
maybe
learn is to do.
Yeah. I just wish they'd hurry up and learn.
I had a weekend hand. This has been some months ago, and I had to jump and run and take care of. I say an emergency, something urgent that came up elsewhere. And I said, "Hey," I tossed him the keys to one of the pickups. I said, "I need you to hook up to that stock trailer and back up to that load and shoot. By the time I get back, we'll load up the whatever we were loading." And he said, "I've never backed a trailer before." I said, "That's okay. You got all the time in the world, nothing to hit. Just do it."
Sounds like
came
time
back
to learn.
Yep. I came back and he had that thing perfectly lined up. I said, "How many times did it take you?" He said, 2. I was like, "That's not bad at all." So
This is damn impressive, in all honesty. Good for him.
like, this is why we hired you. So
Yeah, it's reversing a trailer is is a skill in its own right. Again, it's something that in the UK now, you can't have. You've got to do an additional test before you can ride with a trailer.
really,
Yeah, which I agree with. You see some people who are doing it wrong or going too fast and unroad things. As I did, I was just got to drive various things in caravans and learn how to reverse them, and but it's definitely a skill.
I'm a little biased as one that pulls a trailer frequently. I think you need to take another test to be able to drive around people that are pulling trailers. That's just me.
Yeah. Learn how
Pull out in
what
front
not
of me
to
and
do.
slow down real fast. I was like, "Bud, I've got so much weight on the back. This is not going to be pretty. You better hit that accelerator."
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Don't brake test me. Yeah, I see when people brake. There's been quite a few videos around, but people brake testing an articulated lorry, so a full-on semi truck. Sorry, semi
Right.
truck. And yeah, you just think, do you not think that thing weighs 40, 50 tons? Okay, it's got brakes on it, but it's not going to slow down that quick compared to a little car. You are going to come off worse.
Yeah.
The rules about momentum. That M in there is mass, and you haven't got anything compared to them.
Yeah, that's it's another example of when biology becomes physics.
Yes, very true.
So, excuse me.
Ooh.
Well, I've got pretty much all of the pads on these. Oop, how did he get away with not having that one pad painted? Hold on. I've got most of the pads, or I got all the pads done on my regular tactical troops. Um, on the on my tactical space marines, all light infantry blue, as you can see, like on this set right here.
Oh yeah, yep.
I need to paint the guns, which I'm just going to do a dark blue gray. It's the same color I've been painting the pipes uh, and the treads on my vehicles, and then give them a wash of Agrax and call them good. Just need to get them based. So now these guys are going to take a little bit more work because they're like the characters. You know, I got a tech marine there and a librarian and whatnot.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, it's coming along nicely. I still need to put the yellow pads on my jump troops and red pads on my terminators.
Yeah, it's a fair bit to do. The trouble is, with the painting, it's always oh, well, I've just got to do this, and just got to do that, and I've just got to do that, and all of a sudden it's like you're 6 hours later. It goes, I haven't finished my list of justs yet.
Right. I also need to get the get my bases cut to put my ships on for Battle of Surigao Strait. But I've come to the conclusion that those are going to be dead simple to paint because, if I'm not mistaken, all of the American battleships and cruisers were in the dark navy blue color scheme at that point. So,
And of course, that scale you can just slap them on, can't you?
Yeah, just literally spray paint them dark blue, then color the decks in a deck blue, give them a dark wash, and call it good. The Japanese are going to be a dark gray all over. I think the cruisers are going to have that brick red linoleum for their decks. But, then again, also, I'm only going to have like a dozen, maybe 15 Japanese ships, so it's not gonna be that bad.
No. So
But
is the sandpaper annoying, the noise, or is that okay?
No, you're fine.
Didn't even hear it.
Nope. But I need to get the ships done really before I do anything else, because I want to get it played sometime in mid October over at uh, my Thursday my Thursday night game group to play test to make sure what I'm wanting to have happen is it's going to work out right,
Yeah.
and then have it ready to go for Tacticon. So I've got I've got about what 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe, 6 7 weeks, something like that before Tacticon. So I've got time, but that time's going to go away very very fast.
Oh, time moves so fast when you're getting ready for a show. I'm sure it's a special
Yeah,
kind of time because
yeah,
you go, yeah, I've got 3 months to paint these minis. Hang on a minute, I've got 3 hours. Where did that go?
yeah, exactly. I have done that before, um, and then once I get that done, I'll focus up more on getting my all my Marines finished painting up, because I'm hoping November December time frame we'll do a game of Quadrant 13 with my buddy Joel and Copeland and that gaming group.
Speaking
I
of, go ahead.
I really, really, really want to see how that game plays.
But Quadrant 13,
Yeah.
have you ever seen I Ain't Been Shot Mum or Charlie Don't Surf?
Yeah, but Joel said that it is substantially less user friendly to just pick up and play.
Well, because of how the rule book is written.
Yeah, but I'm not
Or
familiar enough with Charlie Don't Surf to just
right.
play
No, no,
Charlie Don't
no.
Surf in space.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, but it isn't. Um, it's got the same DNA, but it is definitely a distant cousin,
Well,
if that
exactly, and
makes sense.
I'm not to the point where I can just run with that. Um, so I'd really like Quadrant 13 sounds pretty awesome to play. It'd be cool to
It's once we got it figured out, it is a lot of fun. I think what how often do you have Saturdays?
theoretically every other.
Okay, so next time we decide we're wanting to play Charlie or Quadrant 13, we'll always play it on a Saturday, and I'll coordinate
Somebody,
it with you
is
so you
somebody
can
doing
come
that at
over.
Smoked Lard?
I don't know if somebody's doing it at Smoke Lard or not.
Okay,
I think maybe Joel might be thinking about doing it at
okay.
Smoke Lard, but yeah, but even before then, um,
Yeah,
I'll figure out when we're going to do it and let you know, so we can work around, working with you
that'd be
so you can
super
come
cool.
over.
Yeah, because again, that would be pretty awesome to play just because of the sheer number of things you can play with that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, we've played it in 15 millimeter, and then I got the wild hair of saying, "Hey, why don't we do it in 6?" And Copeland's got a crap ton of epic scale Eldar,
Yeah,
and I've currently got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 stands of tactical Marines, 2 stands of what is essentially HQs, and then I think a dozen jump troops and stands of jump troops, and I think like 6 or 10 Terminators stands.
nice. I need to get on painting my infantry then because I printed out that whole thingy with, you know, 12 or 24 more squads of infantry and all those weapon platforms. I should do that because I
We're
got
at
the
98%, Nord. So, Nord was asking if the Pegasus was done yet.
nice.
I said we're at 98%, so we're close. So close.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I really like the 5 Ultra having that camera built in, so I can keep an eye on it.
We also got a game of Axis and Allies D-Day in this weekend.
Yes,
I
we did.
saw that.
I had a lot of fun with it, and not just because I won.
Not because you stomped me, just because he had a good time.
Yeah, I do think we will be able to do a double blind on it pretty easily.
Okay.
To be honest.
As I said, we're gonna need a crack umpire team for it though.
Well, I mean, you got you and me,
Okay, so we got half a crack umpire team.
right?
If you're looking to slide that down to 1/3, I can help out.
I can absolutely get you in on that, unless you want to play.
A little bit of both.
Understood. We'll as whatever J3 I make it to next approaches, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then we also played some jet fighters using your rules.
We did. It went very fast and very dirty.
Yeah, I do think the missiles are far too accurate and far too damaging.
I agree. They will definitely need some tweaking. But for now, the rules work up to Korea, in my opinion.
Oh,
perfect.
very well. Very well.
It's that 1956, 1957 pivot that they struggle with.
Yeah. So I think the thing that I think the next thing we need to test is shifting it from being one to um, 4, 5, or 6 to hit, just changing it as a 6 to hit.
Okay.
Um,
I can see that.
Really, because especially if we're looking to do it for Love and Not.
Yes.
In 1958. I mean, not only are you dealing with, just outright misses. There was between 30 and 35% of every missile that was launched did not operate correctly. Everything from not leaving the rail to it left the rail but fell straight to earth and never igniting. Or, hey, it did actually ignite and launch, but did a hard left turn or dove straight into the ground about 100 yards out.
Well, then you have a case like in Taiwan Strait where it buries itself in a MiG and doesn't explode.
Exactly. So, I definitely think that cutting down, two things. And when you're doing game testing, you normally only want to change one factor.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, I think we can do 2-factor test, and that is only fire at if you're in the target's rear arc, and to change it to got to roll a 6 on a d6.
I don't think that'll hurt anything at all. I mean, also we have played so much of that game, we know it forwards and back.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about changing a couple things because we're really in the final stages of development with it.
right. So we're at 99% on Pegasus. She's a big one. She is a big one. Like I said, if I remember correctly, I have her like 190 millimeters. This Venator
Hmm.
is 165
Oh,
millimeters.
so this is the biggest print you've done for this.
Um, yeah, she is going to be the biggest print for this setup, and actually the biggest print for this printer. Now I did do a USS. Did I do a USS Missouri? Yeah, I did a USS Missouri on my old 3 Pro in 112, one yeah 1/1200th scale, and that was whatever 8 inches works out to be in whatever 8 inches works out to millimeters. What is it? About
Yeah, yeah,
200.
200 mil.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. I don't really think we could have gotten any bigger.
No, because it's still sitting in the resin, isn't it? That is maxing your printer out.
Yeah. Now, the other nice thing that came with the 5 Ultra is this guy right here.
Right.
This
What's
tray. This tray slaps into place on the front of the vat here, and that allows me to when I uh, pop the build plate off of the Z-axis, it allows it to a place to drain. So, but here, let me.
Does it automatically run a tank clean when you've finished?
No, it does not. Oof. Ah. Yeah, it is big. It is very big. Let me change the view here. Bear with me, guys. There we go. There she is.
Wow.
As she disappears into the space. So, and then all right. So I will let her drain or drip overnight, and then pop her off the build plate and run her through the wash. So, and the um, the washing and curing, nor probably what I will do is to show you the process. I'll go ahead and see if I can't set up a video, showing the process. Because, like I said, at this point, it's just going to sit there overnight to make sure all of the resin that is still liquid has a chance to drain off.
Did you
And then
hollow it?
No, I didn't.
Nice.
So it is going to be a hefty piece there. just like this one. This one did not get hollowed either, and it is. It's got some weight to it. It feels nice. Excuse me. So, um,
Yeah, actually, Norton Marshall's correct. Yeah. How
yeah.
big
Well,
how big's a Death Star going to be?
well, I'm gonna make probably the base star is gonna be about like this big. I'm gonna max out the plate for it. I do have a base star STL, so and I'm gonna probably do a TOS base star also, just because I think they look cool. And in the lore, those round base stars were with the reimagined series. Everything that was from the 1978 Battlestar Galactica series is considered the first. Those were the enemies of the first Cylon War. 40 years prior to what we see in the Battlestar Galactica series.
Right.
So, so all of those are still, and in fact, spoiler alert for a TV show that's 20 years old. In the last battle, you actually see original Cylons fighting alongside modern Cylons against the Colonials and their Cylons. You have to go watch the whole show to understand what I'm talking about. But the original Cylons and the original Cylon Raiders are all still canon. They're still part of the lore. So, all right, hey Charles, thanks for dropping in, buddy. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and make sure you take care of yourself and have fun with that grandson of yours. So, take care, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. I do have Vipers and Raptors and Cylon flying wings and heavy Raiders. I'm going to be working on getting them sized properly, and also get the posts placed on them so they will fit on the Star Wars Armada fighter squadron posts. So Caprica was a cool series. I really liked it. Caprica was the prequel to Battlestar Galactica, showing us how the Cylons came to be. So I am a huge fan of Battlestar Galactica, and if I could find good STLs for Cylons, both classic and reimagined, as well as colonial Marines and colonial pilots, I would absolutely do a fistful of lead Battlestar Galactica. So yeah. Oh yeah, Nord, absolutely. So anyway, well, we have been going for about 2 hours and almost 9 minutes, and I gotta actually eat some dinner still. It is 10 o'clock, so I'm eating late. John, thank you so much for joining us. You were always a pleasure to have on the show. There you go, McMurray. There's his lovely face.
Hell yeah, he's really classing up the joint now.
I know he is, man. I know. I mean,
The man's an Adonis.
just the way with how he says things.
Make his screen bake.
Then you've got the two talking 8-balls down here.
Right.
Bam, there's the thumbnail.
There you go. Click.
That'll draw the viewers.
that'll drag them in. So, but yeah, John, it's always
Or
a
send
pleasure.
them screaming, I suspect.
Yeah.
It's probably more accurate.
Anytime you want to hop in, by all means, you know, you don't even need to ask. If you see that link and you're up for it, click in and we'll bring you up. Not a problem. So,
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always.
absolutely. Good stuff. Reese, as always, thanks, buddy.
Absolutely. Enjoyed having you this weekend.
No, yeah, we will definitely. I will definitely be down there again, sooner rather than later.
Well, you put up with my motley crew, so.
Yep. McMurray, thanks for being here as always.
Always, not a problem.
So,
Happy to be here.
And then everybody that was with us tonight watching, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And as always, we shall see you on the flip side.
Later, guys. See you, Paulie.